It started as an idea, it became a dream, and now it's becoming a reality. No one foreseen it happening, it just happened. But enough of the chit chat. It's game time!
Do you like football? Do you appreciate good commentary? Enjoy the factual entertainment we call podcast. You won't regret it. Tune in while you can. They aren't all forever.
Clocked in, minds at work, stadium's my only church. IQUC, I come in first. NFL, I'll wait my turn. Brucey is the QB1, Timmy is the football nerd. Ryan's hopping on them takes, religious freak will bless with words. Last but not the least is Reese, he shows opinions over. Hova speaks his mind while staying sober, spits his facts, come watch or show. Your hat is on backwards, you know it's for clothes. Are you lucky they started the show that you're clover? Think that your brain is super, then Nova. Tune in while you can, you'll hate when it's over.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Once again, this is the Football Guys podcast, and I'm your host, Reese Rowe, this time. And we here are with Bruce Stone and Tim the GOAT. I want to give a special shout out to all the guys on Facebook who have recently liked our page. We have three guys who are top fans. Dougie, my guy Dougie, Christian LaRock, and Eddie Yetman. I mean, we appreciate you guys. We appreciate you on all the love that we are sharing. You know, it's great to see that what we've done so far, and keep doing it, man. It keeps us making us want to do this, talk about football, just something that we're passionate about. And we're going to get more into what we're going to do today. So today we're going to talk about GOAT Madness, as you guys see what I have behind me, as you guys been commenting and liking and sharing all the different things. So we're going to really get into GOAT Madness, and we're going to bring the past into the present. So I'm going to pass it over to my man Bruce. He's going to give you guys a little bit more detail on what GOAT Madness is all about.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? So this is what we basically got coming up, basically down the pipeline for some of the events and things we're going to do. But the GOAT Madness is the main focus right now. So how we're going to do this, it's going to be quarterback, running back, wide receiver. On the offensive side, we're going to do defensive line, cornerbacks, linebackers, and safeties. Now, look, this got real
tight
spicy.
ends.
I said tight ends. So anyway, so in tight ends too. So basically, it got real spicy with the discussion with us just picking the players in the bracket of 8. We started out with 12, and we kind of cut it down to 8. So it even got spicy when we did that. So basically how we're going to do this is it's going to start with 64 total. After each bracket itself, we're going to probably – each episode we're going to have one bracket. We're going to pick a winner amongst ourselves. And then basically it'll move on to a round. After everybody's won their bracket, it's going to move on to a round of 8, right? So the round of 8, we're going to start a contest for fans. So you have to either like, share, subscribe. One of our outlets, our social media outlets, our YouTube, Apple Podcast,
Spotify. Yes, sir.
Facebook, IG, Twitter. It doesn't matter. If we see that we're actually keeping track of this, we've come to the conclusion where anybody who's going to do any of that for us, or if you vote, those are the two ways you can qualify. If you vote on at least 3 different matchups, okay, you're going to qualify. So we're going to put all the names in a hat that do this. And what's going to happen is we're going to pick out a name, and then we're going to pick out a player in the final 8. When we pick out that, you're basically tied to that player. So let's say Brady does get by, which obviously he's consensus. You know, everybody loves Brady, whatever the case may be. But you never know. You never know what happens. I didn't think it happened here on the Football Guys podcast, right? No. But let's say Brady gets by. We pick out Brady, and then we pick out, Joe Schmo, whoever qualifies, right? That guy's tied to that player. If your player wins, there is going to be we're discussing what we're going to give out as far as the prize goes. Like I mentioned yesterday on our Facebook page, most likely it's going to be a T-shirt and some type of gift card. We're discussing what to do, though. It's going to be something nice for our fans over here. So, and then basically from the round of 8, we'll go to the Football Guys Final 4, and then our Super Bowl we're going to call the Legends Bowl, right? Have a little fun with it. So it's going to get it's going to get real spicy.
Yes, it is.
We're going to do a lot of digging. We are missing a few people on the pod today. Ryan Hot Takes Lee was not feeling well, and Tariq had a family emergency. So, but we're going to be back in a whole all five will be back on the next episode. But yeah, so that's basically the long and short of it. This Gold Madness thing is really going to be a lot of fun. I hope everybody partakes. We appreciate all the love and support for sure. Just like he was shouting out Dougie. Dougie's across the pond. He's giving us love all over the place. We appreciate that. Eddie Edmond gave us love on YouTube. We're getting a lot of great feedback from everybody. We really, really, really appreciate it. But anyway, so what we're going to do now is Tim is going to talk about, just right now, we're just going to talk about offense, right? He's going to talk about who we picked. And then after we're done doing that, basically, we're going to talk about honorable mentions, right? Because one of the things that we all discussed is there's some players out there that their careers were cut short. We all agree, right, guys?
Yes, sir.
There were some really, really good players. Some guys that maybe if their careers don't get cut short, they might be the best players of all time, which is crazy to say. But we all kind of discussed that. We also, instead of, now we didn't want to leave the big guys out. The offensive linemen, we're going to do an honorable mention for. We're not going to do it on this show. We're going to do an honorable mention for kickers and punters. That's going to be really boring, we know, but we still got to give them a shout out. The one that we're going to probably, and coaches too, of course. The one that we're probably going to devote at least a solid amount of one episode to is special teams players, right? We didn't do a bracket for them because it would kind of made it uneven, but there's been some really, really great special teams players over the years. So anyway, so after Tim's done, I'll come back and we'll discuss some of the other things that we're going to do, and we'll start talking about honorable mentions as well. So Tim, take it away.
Okay, let me get my trusty notebook here. I just want to say to everyone out there that this was not easy to do. A lot of these positions had 15, 20 great players. And part of my thing when I cut it to 12 was not just stats. A lot went into it. It was stats, wins, like status. Like, because there's some guys out there that are great players, but they're kind of boring. I mean, so we tried to make it spicy, as you guys were saying. And that's how we arrived at this. So obviously we put up the quarterback bracket already, which is the 1 seed, Tom Brady, versus the 12 seed, Johnny Unitas. The 2 seed, Joe Montana, versus the 7 seed, Steve Young.
I don't know why, guys.
John Elway versus the 6 seed, Brett Favre. And then the 4-5 matchup is Peyton Manning versus Dan Marino.
Oh, my goodness.
Then I'm going to bring up to the next couple categories we have here. We have running backs. We have number 1 seed Jim Brown versus number 8 seed Adrian Peterson. A battle of the past versus the present.
Yes, sir.
We got the number 2 seed Barry Sanders versus number 7 seed O.J. Simpson. We got the number 3 seed Emmitt Smith versus number 6 seed LaDainian Tomlinson.
Wow.
And then we have the number 4 seed Walter Payton versus the number 5 seed Eric Dickerson.
Wow. Sweet.
And the running back alone, right? There's a good 2 or 3, 4 people that you really got to give a shout out to.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, and we're gonna get more into that. Tim, do you want to finish? And then we'll go to the honorable mentions.
Yeah, I got the receivers here. We got the number 1 seed Jerry Rice versus number 8 seed Michael Irvin.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Tim, before you go on, why don't you explain how you kind of picked the seeds so everybody understands that we weren't just like predetermined, right?
We had 12 players that we cut down to 8.
Right.
And like I said, some of these guys were more like for the wow factor, the spice factor.
Yes.
Yeah.
We like good a little hot sauce in our sandwich here. So some of these matchups, the seeding is not exactly where we ranked them, but we ranked them that way to get the best matchups possible.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we got the number 2 seed is Randy Moss versus the number 7 seed Calvin Megatron Johnson.
Oh my God! Oh.
And then we got the number 3 seed, T.O., Terrell Owens, versus number 6 seed, Larry Fitzgerald.
Wow. Mr. Consistency. Oh,
wow.
Jesus.
And then we got the number 4 seed, Marvin Harrison, versus number 5 seed, Steve Largent.
Wow.
I know a lot of guys wasn't thinking about Steve. I know for sure a lot of you guys were not thinking about Steve or even know about Steve. But we got Mr. Philadelphia and Steve, the first one.
And hey, here on the Football Guys podcast, we respect the legends, right?
Yes, sir.
Exactly.
Yes,
We
sir.
respect the legends of the game. So there's some people that had to be in there, whether people like it or not, right? So.
And then I got one more category for the offense, the tight end, where we got the number 1 seed, Rob Gronkowski, versus number 8 seed, Jason Witten.
Wow. Welcome back, Gronk. Welcome back.
Wow.
Then we got the number 2 seed, Tony Gonzalez,
Okay.
versus number 7 seed, Ozzie, great GM Newsom.
Yes.
Yeah, that's big facts right there.
Then we got the number 3 seed, Kellen Winslow Sr., versus Antonio Gates, the 6th seed.
Wow.
Battle of the San Diego Superchargers.
Wow.
Shout out to Matthias.
Yeah, big shout out there.
I like what you did, Tim. I see what you're doing.
And then we got
me too.
one of my favorite matchups here, the number 4-5 matchup with Shannon Undisputed Sharp versus Iron Mike Ditka.
Wow.
And Dick is one of those guys that a lot of people don't realize. He was like kind of like the first guy to really, popularize the tight end position.
Tight end position, yep.
Yes,
like
he did. Yes.
I mean,
we going definitely get into it. You know what I'm saying? I think along with us doing this, guys, I think it's also going to be a history lesson, especially for our young viewers out there, because that's what we kind of want to do. We want to bridge that gap. A lot of guys forget about the legends and how these guys got to where they are right now because of the fact of somebody had to do it before them. And we understand that the game and, the players get bigger, faster, and stronger. But there was somebody who did it before them, and they mimicked their game after them. So with that being said, we want to try to bridge that gap and let you guys know on how these older guys and these legends and why they are legends, and how they would probably compare to this day in age and in the game and so forth and so forth. So Tim, that's a great list, bro. Jesus Christ, that's a great list. Yeah, man.
Yeah, and you know what too, Tim? It's like you were saying, Reese, like for some people out there that don't know anything about like some of the legends of the game. Like, first of all, like, and this isn't like being disrespectful, it's just like the truth. Don't learn about your team's history. Like, you can find it on YouTube. Like, I mean, and while you're doing that, when you're on YouTube, go stop by and check out the Football Guys podcast. No, but
yes,
but listen, if you feel like listening if you're on by some chance you cut the grass, you want to listen to some great content, check us out on Apple and Spotify. No, but no, seriously. In all reality, though, I think a lot of people don't realize like there's a lot of people that don't respect what the guys did back in the day because they weren't as big and as strong, as fast, and yada. Like, okay, fine, but bro, those dudes hit. Like,
exactly.
They didn't care.
I'll give you a big thing that people don't know because, like, at the end of his career, he was kind of a joke. But like a coach like Al Davis, people don't know what he actually did for the league.
Oh yeah,
in the beginning of the league, like they see the guy making horrible draft picks at 40 guys.
I was going to say that,
but they don't know that in the beginning of the league, he was an instrumental part in getting the league to where it is.
Yeah, that's just like George Dallas and a lot of the other guys.
Yeah.
Like, it's just there's certain guys that did, like Vince Lombardi. Like, Vince Lombardi did so much for this league, right?
Exactly.
I mean,
hence the trophy's named after him.
Yo, you think about this too, and I'm sure you know that Vince Lombardi and Tom Landry and I forget who the other. They were on the same coaching staff with the Giants. If you didn't know that.
Wow.
Those two were on the same coaching staff.
Yeah.
That's wild.
See, look, man, when you guys tune in, man, you guys getting a lot here, man. Like you guys don't understand. You know what I mean?
Man.
I know we talk a lot of football and things like that. Not only do we want to make this entertaining, we also want to make this educational, because that was the whole point. We're just, once again, a bunch of 5 guys who want to get together and just talk football. We love this game so much.
Exactly.
Not only do we play, but we just watch it, you know what I mean, study it and learn it. You know what I mean? That's just a great stat, Bruce. You know what I mean? Just letting them know that. You know what I mean? I'm not too sure if you guys want to now move on and get into the honorable mention, the guys who did not make the list. And
let's do it.
I know that's a little spicy.
I think, you know what's funny about the honorable mention thing, to speed off what you're saying? Mm-hmm. There's players on that list that we didn't put on that list, that there's people that are like, oh my God, I can't believe he's not on the list. But like listen, I love Drew Brees, right? I'll start the fire. I love Drew Brees.
Yes.
That's my guy. But like, in all reality, right? He went and paired with a perfect coach, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying, Tim? Like, when they say that you're married to your coach, there's no exaggeration, right? Like, Wentz is married to Peterson. McNabb is married to Reed. Mahomes is married to Reed. Like, it's a thing. And for a while, Belichick and Brady were married, right? I mean, the divorce got a little ugly, the prenup, whatever. But, hey, listen, some people go to Tampa and everybody flocks with them, and other people are trying to figure out who the quarterback's going to be. But, hey, whatever. But anyway, let's start it up. What position we want to start at? Quarterback?
Quarterback.
All right.
Well, I think you mentioned one already. You know what I'm saying? With Breeze,
100%.
Tim, I mean, I guess, do you want to get into more why Breeze was necessarily left off and didn't make the top 8? Because I know we starting to get comments already on, hey, Breeze should probably win this whole thing, or Breeze should be number 1.
That's
so
crazy.
I understand it, but at the same time, there's once again, this is why this is called madness, and this is why it's called GOAT madness. So once again, we're bringing the madness to you. So Tim, just get a little bit into how Drew Brees did not make the cut.
Right.
Well, the one thing I told when I first said something to Bruce about this, that I wanted to keep legends on there. So I wanted to get Johnny Unitas on there. And he's a little low, but I thought the matchup versus Brady was a good matchup.
Right.
Like the guy that who might have been the original GOAT back in the day versus the guy who's considered the current GOAT.
Mm-hmm.
And I said Drew Brees is a great player. It's just when I went through certain things, right?
Right.
He has the same amount of Super Bowls as Young and Favre.
Right.
And in my opinion, they were just more exciting players. Brees is Mr. Consistency. I mean, he's a great player. Like, is he a top 10, maybe top 5 all time? But just because you're great doesn't mean you're the GOAT status. And to me, I chose the guys with a little more sizzle and maybe a little more substance. Yeah.
I mean, if we talked about it a little bit, we talked about Brees, and it's not a slight against Brees, but at the same time, his career has kind of been boring. He is a machine. I know we talked a little bit before we started airing. I know Bruce, you said that on how he's a machine and he just continues to go. And that's not a knock against him. But like you said, Tim, you made this list up, and we can combine this list to make it a little spicy on who would be a better matchup, and you talk about things like that. And I know we're going to get some good and bad with the list, but that's why we want you guys to tune in. This is why it's called madness. We cannot stress this out even more. It's called GOAT madness. And so that's what we're bringing. And you guys are going to get more and more of that. And we're going to get more into the other episodes on why and how the person is going to go ahead and go to the next round too as well. So what you got, Bruce? Tell them another little bit about Brees and why he didn't make it.
So check this out. I think, first of all, Drew Brees, I mean, people don't realize that Drew Brees battles, he fights an uphill climb every single time he steps on the field. Okay? He's barely 6 foot. I mean, he's lucky if he's 6 foot. And he doesn't run around like Russell Wilson. He don't run around like Doug Flutie, right? This man jumps and looks upward when he throws a football. And he might be one of the most accurate passers we've ever seen. By the way, he throws an ugly ball too sometimes. Sometimes, on that topic, I called a sports science. No, but you know what's funny? I called a sports science one time with him. Back in the day when they first started it, and here, listen, they talked about it. The tail he puts on that ball is for accuracy purposes.
Wow.
Right? And I'm your resident QB guy, right? So I'm like, I'm like, I had a hard time believing it. But then I started to look, and if you look at Peyton Manning, similar sometimes. There was similarities sometimes when the ball would come out of his hand. He was a guy who didn't really care how the ball got there, as long as it got there, right?
Timing.
But Breeze, I mean, listen, he left one place, he went to another. He left a place where, in all reality, like Tim said earlier, Phil Rivers stepped in, and he produced, right? Mm-hmm. Now, wholeheartedly, Breeze is twice the quarterback Rivers is. Okay, there's no doubt about that. Like me and Rivers, we don't really get along. We have a thing, right? Yeah, kind of like Tim said before with Matt Ryan. One too many times. I learned my lesson, but with the fantasy thing. But here's the thing. Like for Breeze, like as much as I think Breeze is great, I think that Breeze as a whole, it's hard to say he's not a person that should be on this list. To me, I mean, I get it. Because Johnny Unitas, he did so much back in the air when there was nothing, right? Like they barely threw the ball, and he did, right? But I mean, it's hard for me to agree that Breeze shouldn't be on this list, but I understood why Tim's rationale of it. So I got
and I also said that I also agree that he deserved to be on the list. It's just someone like everything, whether it's like Oscar nominations, Pro Bowl,
right? And while I'm on this, well, if you want to go about Breeze, and then if you want to leave it, switch to somebody else.
Yeah, who else we got? I mean, because we got was it 3 other guys that didn't make it since it's 8, so it was 4 other guys who didn't make it.
There's a guy that I don't think was on the top 12, Tim.
Who?
That I just want to throw out there, Warren Moon.
Yeah.
Like Warren Moon.
Oh my God, people forget about Warren.
Stuff. Like, if he didn't play in the CFL all those years,
yes,
that'd be a whole different story, Tim.
Yes.
Don't reason I left Warren on, and everyone knows, my boy Christian Rock knows I've always been a big Warren Moon guy.
Yeah.
But he has like 0 postseason success.
I know.
So I had to leave him off the list for that. I had to give God, like, Marino doesn't have rings, but he did make a Super Bowl once.
Okay. So go ahead and Marino's spot. All right, we'll talk about Marino later. But who else you got? Who else did you leave off the list?
Terry Bradshaw.
Wow.
4 Super Bowls.
Wow.
Kenny Stabler.
Kenny.
And number 12 was Troy Aikman.
All right, so I'm going to throw another one at us here. I'm going to give him a shout out.
Okay, so I was going to maybe do it. I think I know who you're going.
You got it? Go ahead. Let me hear it.
Well, I'm going by what we just saw someone post about, and I don't think this guy should have made the 12 at all. But a lot of people like to talk about him. I know you're going to have a headache, Bruce, but a lot of people like to talk about him, and I think of what's the game has come to now. And a lot of people talk about this guy, and you know this guy very well, Bruce, as being an Eagles fan, Michael Vick. And a lot of guys talk about, he should have been on here. I think that's maybe just the age gap. I know everybody thinks of Michael Vick on the spectacular plays. But when you talk about GOAT, I don't think he is amongst the group. I don't think he makes that 12. He's
a game changer, but not a GOAT.
He is a game changer, but not a GOAT, guys.
Plus, we also can't ignore the gap in the middle of his career.
An adult fighting thing.
Yeah, and his prime.
If he stayed in Atlanta, won a Super Bowl, made a couple more playoff runs like he did that one year, then he might be in this conversation. But you can't ignore that.
Look, and you also got to take this into an account too. Okay, I'm gonna say this, and I don't even care. Vic, he don't sniff the top 20 all time. Vic was a great football player. But I'm going to tell you right now, Randall Cunningham belongs ahead of Mike Vick. Okay? There's no doubt. There's not even a doubt. Mike Vick was a great player. He was a great athlete. There was times he couldn't hit a broadside of a barn. Mike Vick couldn't pick up a blitz to save his life.
We've seen that.
We've seen that. Yeah, there was times people would call, like literally, they would be like, "Hey, I'm blitzing.
Hey, me right here. I'm going.
Hey, look at me." hey, 52
And
is
you
the
get
mic.
blindsided, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like I remember I watched a game. Matter of fact, it might have been the game he got hurt. No, it wasn't preseason. It was regular season. So I remember the game he got hurt against the Ravens. I think Terrell Suggs hurt him, didn't he? Wasn't it Suggs? No, it wasn't Suggs. It was somebody else. Anyway,
somebody else.
So it was a long time ago. But it was against the Ravens. He got hurt. He broke his leg the first time, right?
Uh-huh.
But when Vic was playing with the Falcons, I remember he was against the Eagles in the playoff game, right? Like they were literally showing blitz. Like they let him know it was coming. He didn't do anything. He got black. All they did to beat him, and that was when people figured him out. Javon Curse and Derek Burgess literally just like basically the wide nine. That's what they played.
Yes.
All they did was they collapsed. They spotted him in the middle.
Yes, they did.
And I still remember to this day that every time he ran against the Eagles, when he played against the Eagles, the first thing he did was look for number 20.
Of course.
Because 20 hit him that 1 year, and I think he was in La La Land the whole second half. Like, I mean, look, Vic, I don't know. To me, Vic don't belong in the top 20. And
another guy, let me say, too, that was top 12.
Mm-hmm.
I struggled because, like I said, Breeze was in the top 12. Russell Wilson was hard for me to leave out of the top 12.
Well, if you put Russell Wilson in the top 12, you 100% got to put Jim Kelly in the top 12.
Jim Kelly, he'd be in my top 15, or 20, but I don't know about 12.
Do you? I mean, you got to finish the job. You just can't get there. You got to finish the job.
Yeah. Like, 4 in a row is hard to do. But
it is.
At 4 in a row, you got to luck out somehow. I mean, like,
but
you got to finish the job.
All right, so let's come on now.
You got to finish the job.
Take it easy on my guy for a second. Okay.
No.
Let's talk about the fact right, that Scott Norwood did miss that kick. Okay,
that's one.
Let's get that out of the way. He also played against juggernauts. Okay, those Niner teams. Like let's be real here, fellas. Let's not like sugarcoat this, right? Those Niner teams and Cowboy teams.
Yeah,
way better than the Bills teams.
Yeah. Well, he lost.
Before he lost,
he lost the whole NFC East except for the Eagles.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm aware.
Yeah.
All right.
So, I mean, you got to win one of them.
Look,
I feel for you, Jim.
You're right.
You got to win one.
Listen, man. Listen.
God.
Shout out to you, buddy. Okay.
It is.
So listen.
Mark Rippon.
It's hard. But
lost
listen,
to Mark Rippon.
Listen, let me tell you like this though. When we talk about overrated quarterback, when we talk about quarterbacks who probably should have been on this list, you got a guy like Marino's on this list, right?
Of course.
We left off legends like Bart Starr, right?
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
Way back. I mean, he won Super Bowl I, right? I mean, Stabler was obviously one heck of a player, right? Boomer Esiason was one heck of a player. Like all these guys did they left a mark on the game.
Yeah.
And I mean, look, my whole.
You can even say somebody like Joe Theismann as well too. I'm not too sure where you guys want to put him at, especially when you got
short too.
Yeah,
Yeah, you know what I mean. So that's another one. Like it's we didn't even get into that. We haven't gotten to the guys who. We talk about the honorable mentions. We haven't gotten to the guys whose career have been cut short, and which you kind of mentioned before earlier on why they're a part of the honorable mention. And I think that's a little bit too, and because injury does play into this, guys. We can't put you up there if you're not on the field. It doesn't.
Agreed.
So we can't. It's not a knock, but at the same time, it is because of the fact of you didn't play. We can't just say, what you would have did. No, you didn't play. So. If that's the case, hey, look, guys, I'm a great receiver in the NFL. I didn't play though, right? So you can't just name that in there. Trust me, I wish I had the money too as well. So
I mean, look,
go ahead, get into it, Bruce.
Russell Wilson is a guy who, by the time if we revisit this in 5 years, and hopefully if we still have this going in 5 years, we're in a really good spot. Okay.
Yeah.
And if we revisit this in 5 years, we're talking about Russell Wilson.
Oh yeah, definitely.
100%.
Definitely.
You don't even got to win another Super Bowl.
I hate to say it, but yes.
We might be talking about Pat Mahomes too in 5 years. We don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
5 years is a long time.
I mean, listen. Here's my thought process on it. So, like, we'll wrap the quarterbacks up, but I'm gonna give my opinion on this, and I made it no secret. right? Like the running and throwing thing is great. It's all well and good. The game is kind of trending that way, and we see it. The greatest pure thrower I've ever seen in the football was Dan Marino, and followed up by Jim Kelly and then Warren Moon.
Yeah,
like, I've never seen anything like it. And then Pat Mahomes comes along, and he's like, "Hey, Bruce, look at this." Oh, okay, that's cool. But at the same time, right? At the same time, like, there's a lot of listen, this league right now is in really, really good shape.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Between Mahomes, right? Between
a lot of young talent.
Look at something like Burrow, who, he's not going to be top 10 walking in the league like hot takes Ryan thinks, or Ryan hot takes Lee thinks. But that's agree to disagree. That's his opinion, and that's fine, right? But at the same time, it's hard to believe he's top 10. Carson Wentz, this is his year to show that he's a guy who's really top 5, top 10. He's done some incredible stuff in the league, right? Jimmy G. I mean, listen, people can hate on him all he wants. He wins.
I can't lie. I don't know how.
Me neither. Me neither.
He does.
Hey, I don't get it either.
If you hear his teammates talk about him, man, they'd follow that guy into war.
Yes.
No, listen,
yes.
and that's what you want, though, right? Let's be realistic, right? As a quarterback, the one thing you want is you want your guys around you to believe in you, right? That's the biggest part of this whole thing. You want your guys to believe in you 100%. And there's certain guys out there, and that's another thing we could talk about. Drew Brees. Let's go back to Drew. His guys would run through a wall.
Yeah.
I mean, you also, like you said, man, you got some quarterbacks, but you can't leave out the MVP. He's gotten better literally in 2 years. Each year he's progressed, and that's Lamar Jackson.
100%.
100%. So it's great. I mean, I can't front. I'm excited for how the league is going right now. Especially at the quarterback position, because now you look at this and the way these quarterbacks are going, and anybody that's following after Tom Brady and, like you said, Drew Brees, man, if they get to play into their 40s, and then you'll see how they got to maturate now. We'll just have to see if Lamar is still around. If he can now doesn't have the speed, and hopefully not like Michael Vick and have to transition his game to where, okay, hey, I don't have the speed as I have no more. I can't be as mobile. Let me see if I transition to a better thrower, a better passer. And let's see if Pat Mahomes, because he's another one who scrambles a lot, guys. And let's see if he can also continue to rely on his arm more and more.
Right.
But once again, that's still going to be the exciting thing of how these young guys transition.
There's another thing in that too. Also, like when you talk about old quarterbacks, a guy like Steve Young.
Mm-hmm.
There's nobody takes the hits he takes now. Like, even you see what Cam and Ben take. Nobody takes the hits like Steve Young used to take back in the day. That took years off his career. If he played in today's NFL, he would have had 4 or 5 more years in his body.
Easy. I think it was that Nenus Williams hit that took him out, correct?
Yeah, to the back of the head.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look, you could look at it like this too, right? Like, people talk about Cam. Like, matter of fact, before I get there, Lamar Jackson, right?
Mm-hmm.
I said, there's no secret. I gave my reasoning why I think Lamar Jackson is a little overhyped / overrated right now. So I think the kid has improved. Yeah. Dude, I mean, he's fun to watch. You got to show me something in the playoffs, kid. Everybody kills Wentz, right? Hasn't played a playoff game. Well, guess what? He hasn't played a playoff game. He still has a Super Bowl ring. Whether Nick Foles did it or not, he put his team in a good position. Lamar Jackson, he honestly was the favorite going into the playoffs, even with what Kansas City did. Like, people really thought, because of that defense and the way they were playing, playoffs.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, look, at the end of the day, I think I'm excited to see what Lamar Jackson does this year. I'm excited to see what Mahomes does, Wentz does. And if Dak Prescott don't get his jabroni butt in camp, if there is a camp, I mean, the Red Rifle's down there with some weapons.
Yeah.
Not that I really think Andy Dalton. I think Andy Dalton's a solid player. I don't think he is elite by no stretch. But
I'll see.
But anyway, let's move on to running backs, right?
Yeah, what you got, Tim? What you got as far as the guys that did not make the top 8 in the running back position?
Well, the tough ones were Marshall Faulk was one. And I know our boy Rick Kleinmeyer is going to be mad at us because
he's going to be dead ass shape, bro.
Marshall Faulk and Isaac Bruce didn't make the list. But his boy Eric Dickerson didn't make the list though, so you should be happy about that, right?
Exactly.
There's a lot of great running backs out there like that. A guy like Terrell Davis, if he had a full career, he'd probably be the top 8. I mean, a guy the three of us love, but there's no way we lose all credibility if we put a guy like Bo Jackson on the list.
Exactly.
Even though if he stayed healthy, he might have been the best guy on this list, but we can't. On the football guys, we don't operate in ifs.
God,
that's facts.
Bo knows baseball. Bo knows football. Jesus Christ.
Like Richard Sherman
once said, do it all.
If ifs were fast, we'd all be drunk.
Yeah, that's fact.
But
I mean,
there's a lot of this. Curtis Martin, Jerome Bettis. There's a lot of good running backs up there, but a lot of the things, like I said, I went on like guys that deserve to be on here, but they're also a little bit spicier than some of the guys that got left off. Like Curtis Martin was good. Is anybody clamoring for Curtis Martin out there? You know what I mean? Jerome Bettis was good.
I gave you my
unless
opinion
you're a
about
Steelers fan. A guy like Frank Gore, who on this field longevity almost had to make the list.
Yeah.
But also, we all agreed, and even Bruce and his homerism agreed that he didn't do enough overall, even though his body of work's great.
Right.
Like, if you break year to year, it wasn't good enough to deserve to be in the top 8.
I know.
I know some great ones.
I know there's another game that I don't think we even mentioned that some people probably would say he may deserve, Earl Campbell. And
we talked about him.
Yeah. So and we'll see. Once again, that's why this is not an easy list to make up, guys. There's a lot of great legends, a lot of guys, and I'm saying each position that literally that you could arguably put in there. But like Tim explained on how he came up with the list and things like that. I know another name just right off the top of my head is Franco Harris. You know what I'm saying? As we talked about
Tim Riggins. John Riggins, I mean.
John Riggins.
Yeah.
Tim Riggins, shout out to Friendly Lights.
So I think another thing too is that what's also on this list that is not just about winning championships as well. Because I know a lot of people like to put a lot of ownership on that or onus on that. But it's not like that, because if that's the case, you would have some of these guys just because, hey, they won a championship to be on the list. But that's not also the case, too. There's other factors.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So what you got, Bruce? What you think?
I mean, look, and Tim knows how I feel about this. Yale Sayers was my big issue. Yale Sayers did so much in such a short time, right? He got hurt before there was things that could really be fixed, right? His career was cut short because of that. You look at a guy, and I'm going way, way back, right? Ernie Davis.
Yeah.
There's a movie about the guy. They said he had more talent than Jim Brown, right? Now, I'm not saying he should even be on this list, but that's a guy we were talking about careers cut short.
Yes.
He didn't even get to play a snap in the NFL.
Yes.
Right? Herschel Walker.
Oh,
that's a guy you could argue that should be on this list, right, Tim?
Yep. I mean, Tony Dorsett.
Tony Dorsett.
I'll tell you the one that probably stings the most for anybody is Bo Jackson.
Yes.
We as football fans, we got cheated.
Yes, we did.
Out of what could have been the greatest football player overall we've ever seen.
Also, some people do the Marcus Allen also.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's a lot of players that probably running back wise that probably should have been on here. That's hard to not have on there. Like you said, Curtis Martin. Remember we had talked about Curtis Martin. Every team Curtis Martin played on relied on Curtis Martin. Yeah. Remember them Jets teams? Those Jets teams were dreadful at times. I mean, I know they made a playoffs a couple times, but I mean, there was times where
don't insult my boy Chad Pennington.
Yeah.
Chad Pennington's my guy, man.
I mean, but you guys also mentioned, too, Marshall Faulk. I mean, as we talk about the greatest show on turf, as we know, you know what I mean, and being in the NFC West, man, they wasn't having that guy. He helped them. He was a matchup nightmare.
Yeah.
He could do it literally all. He was a matchup nightmare. He's actually one of the guys, if you think about now the running back position, how it is today, he's another one that helped revolutionize that position. Because
he would fit so much,
so well. So, but once again, he did not make the list. You know what I mean? So I understand if you guys necessarily want to argue that. Oh, why Marshall Faulk? Hey, Ray, don't talk to me. Talk to Tim. It was all him. It was all him. Don't talk to
Hey, Tim.
Hey, time out, though. Yo, he was in my top 12. I got outvoted for putting him in the top 8. Don't forget that.
Look, he didn't want the heat for that one.
He didn't want the heat for that one.
Every else wanted AP, Ray. Everyone else wanted AP, Ray. I want Marshall Faulk in there.
Yes.
Don't blame me for this one, Ray.
Come on, man.
Bruce, you can blame me, Ray. You can blame me for Isaac Bruce, but not this one.
I did vote for AP. I will say that. I will say that. But mentioning that, do you guys want to get into the receivers now?
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because tight ends, I don't think we really need to argue. I mean, pretty much.
No.
It is what the list is. What it is. There's not much of a reach out there.
I agree with that.
This one definitely is. We talked right before on air, the three of us.
Right.
There's like 20 guys that could have made the bottom of this list, and it's like, who do you cut off? You have, like I said, Ray's gonna be mad about Isaac Bruce thing, and there's Chris Carter's of the world, Art Monks of the world, Andre Reed's of the world.
Facts.
I can go. There's
go on and on.
Yeah, a lot of people say, what about like Julio Jones? Reeks probably have.
Yeah. Oh my God. Julio.
Some people might say like Andre Johnson had a good career. Like there's a lot of guys that had good careers.
Mm-hmm.
But you can only get 8 on the list, so.
Even some people might even bring up Steve Smith.
Yeah.
Steve Smith's definitely somebody you could argue. Right.
Shout out to Giant Steve Smith. I met that guy once. He was cool shit.
Oh yeah. He had a decent career.
Yeah.
You know, he had a decent career. I mean, I can't say a decent. He had an average career, but he made some big
career.
catches.
He played with the Eagles too, didn't he?
Yeah, for what he didn't make the team. He played. They picked him up in like who else? And Gibbons,
talent, man.
Chris Gibbons.
He has no talent, man.
Smith just
Steve
didn't.
Smith was the guy.
He just didn't fit in, bro. I mean, he got beat out by like God only knows who, probably Nelson Aguilar, but
yeah, let's get more back to what's up with this list.
I mean, as far as receivers go, I mean, look, Chris Carter. I gotta. Let's call it what it is, and I'll say it right. I'm going to put like a capital pause behind this, but he had the best hands we've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, this dude used to sit there. He used to sit there with a jugs machine and catch the ball with one hand over and over and over and over again.
He still does it now.
I know. I'm aware. And so, like, because Chris Carter, I got a soft spot for Chris Carter. I always will, right? I mean, I still remember – and I still remember the day that the Eagles let him go because of the issue with the drugs and everything that he had. Mm-hmm. And I was a kid. I was young. That stung. Really stung, right? But Chris Carter is definitely one of them. Definitely
let me say
Andre Reed.
The reason he was off of there was because Randy Moss canceled him out.
Right. I respect that. But still, there's an argument you could have had 2 Vikings on there because Chris Carter was special, man.
Yes, he was
special.
He was special.
But I still think the guys that are on there with that factor deserve to be on there.
Chris Carter's a better receiver than Michael Irvin. There's no
true.
Hey, we gonna save that.
Michael Irvin
was the GOAT
was an integral part of three Super Bowls, though.
Okay, I don't disagree with that.
Yes, he was.
Listen, all I'm simply saying, I'm gonna tell you like this: there was wide receivers we left off. I mean, there's been some really good receivers over the years, really, really good receivers, right? And we talk about like a guy like Megatron made it. Career was kind of short and kind of quit on the lines. But you look at other guys.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, I mean, you look at other guys who, like a Jimmy Smith for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I mean, he played on
the actor?
Kind of a crappy.
Yeah.
Jimmy Smith, the actor.
you know who I'm talking about. He was always in trouble. He was a good player. He was.
Him and
right?
Keenan McCardell.
Yes.
Yeah,
that was a good duo down in Jacksonville.
And you got guys like sheesh, man. I mean,
Andre Bad
Yeah.
Oh, yo, man. Yo, he pissed off Left Eye Lopez. Remember that?
Yes.
Burnt down his mansion.
Lisa Lopez. Yes.
I know we took off Lynn Swan, right?
Yeah. Allsworth.
Yeah, Allsworth. Yeah, I mean, look, you did a really really good job on the receivers, even with the missing Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holton, guys like that. Like, I mean, there's an argument that Chris Carter belongs in there over Marvin Harrison, right?
Some people may say that. Reggie Wayne, yeah.
He had a hell of a career, right?
Yeah.
I mean, look, I mean, you did a pretty good job. I mean, overall, I thought the receivers were a pretty good bracket. I mean, I know we're going to get a lot of crap for not having Isaac Bruce on there and Chris Carter. But
matter of fact, I want to know what you guys think about this. I wonder if out of all the groups, I wonder if this receiver group is probably the closest in what you say as far as, the gap in between, from the old into the new, and pretty much in what you have like talent-wise, and just abilities and so forth, and just as far as skill. Because you have some guys who are just flat out talented, and you have some guys who were just technicians, so who worked on their game. But I just think with that receiver group, and it could probably even go into even maybe 25 if you really, really start to look at it and start to look at their game. You can probably say how close they are. Yes, like Chad probably had some of the best footwork at the receiver position.
He might be the best route runner we've ever seen.
See what I'm saying? So he was left off. And so I understand that we're probably going to get a lot of people talking about this wide receiver position and comment back and forth. And, some of it's just due. I won't say it's not. But we'll get into that. And you guys are going to see once we get into that episode and once we get into that bracket and how we pick who's going to move forward. And like I said, this is why some of these guys are honorable mentions, because we know. But it was such a close gap between all these guys that it is like the Oscars. Somebody had to get snubbed, and a lot of guys got snubbed in this wide receiver position.
And you could also look at it like this too, right? There's only a couple positions where there's a clear-cut GOAT.
Yes. Yes.
Right? That's why this is going to be so much fun, because, I mean, the quarterback, it's really hard to argue Brady. It is.
It is.
I mean, it is. But we're going to have some arguments. We are.
Yes, we are.
I also want to apologize to Tariq for leaving off DJ Moore. We know how great a receiver he has been helping
DJ
Chris
Moore.
McCaffrey down in Carolina.
Shout out to CMC.
Pow, pow, pow. Shots fired.
I don't think you're overrated.
We love
guy.
you, Reek. We miss you, buddy.
Appreciate you.
Hey,
no
Tim
doubt,
potting today. Tim was ready to pod today. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we out here potting all now. But
DJ Moore. Oh my goodness. Shout out Panthers fans. Shout out Panthers fans. No disrespect, but DJ Moore is not making his goddamn.
That was disrespect. That was disrespect.
It is.
You got Steve Smith. That's about it.
Yeah, that's about it.
But listen. Man. But I think that realistically, I think the list is a lot closer in some of these brackets than you think. Like, man, look, I'm not trying to – it's a day for another show, but wait till we get to that safety debate. Ooh, boy.
Wait till we get to the D-line debate. There's so many guys. That was hard to get to 8.
Yes, yes.
And like I mentioned before, right, like, and we're not going to talk – like, listen, tight ends really – not to say it's a boring position, but it's kind of at times it's a boring position. We're not even going to mess with that.
It's also a top-heavy position.
It is.
Yes.
Like
it is.
All the really good ones are in the top, like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
And man, listen, there's some guys that were left off that had some decent careers, but at the end of the day, like at the end of the day, it's not like it's anything insane. Like I'll tell you like this.
Bruce, sorry I had to leave off Chad Lewis.
Yeah, that's not so, you can leave. Listen, the only Eagle tight end that would even have a shot at even talking about even a top 30 was Keith Jackson, and he doesn't even belong in there. I mean, listen, I know Pete Retzlaff and they've had some old school tight ends were okay, but I mean, come on. I mean, Zach Ertz is going to go down as the best tight end in our franchise's history.
I mean, but also too, you got to think now. Compared to how the tight end position was to how it is today, it's so
he's a bona fide receiver.
We kept that, so we kept that in consideration too as well. But so that's it, But once again, man, I'm
block you.
I know, but nah, guys. I think that kind of wraps it all up, man, as far as, us in the offense, man. And I think you just want to make sure to tell your fans that y'all just keep looking out. Look for us on Facebook. Look for us on Instagram. Look for us on Twitter. You know what I mean? Especially on Twitter, we're trying to continuously do this thing, guys. Especially on YouTube. Man, please
subscribe.
Please subscribe. Hit that like button.
Notification bell.
All of that, man. We need it, man. It's one of those things. Yeah. Also, too, if you guys are, and that's another thing that we definitely need you fans to definitely do, on Apple and on Spotify, please like, subscribe, and leave a review on both of them. It will help us to go ahead, continue to move up in the rankings to where you guys can see that and help us continue to grow. So we appreciate all the support that we finally get. And Bruce, Absolutely. What do you
Yo,
got?
listen, I'll say this too. You think this is good now? Just wait. We got some things coming up. When everything goes back to normal, we're going to be doing a tailgate show.
Yes, sir.
Some live shows.
Yeah, probably some live shows. We're gonna try to get involved with College Game Day. We're gonna try to, basically crash College Game Day.
We could also get together more when the whole beer virus is done.
Yeah, 100%. And listen, and what we're gonna do, because listen, we missed out on March Madness, and not to kill, but we're gonna do this bracket, have a blast with this one, and then we're actually gonna follow it up maybe a month or so down the road. We're gonna do something called the Battle of the Greats, right? Where we're going to talk about the best teams of all time, right? But yeah, I mean, otherwise than that, I mean, look, I'll tell you what. Ultimately, man, this is something we're really enjoying, and we're getting a lot of great feedback, and we appreciate anything you guys can do as far as subscribe, share. Hey, listen, we're some knowledgeable guys. We have a lot of fun, and we're pretty funny. I mean, look at Reek. He talked about CMC. But in all, listen, man, we as a collective group, we come up with some really good ideas. Me and Tim talked about the tailgate thing. Ryan came up with the College Game Day. We really put some things out there, and we have some live shows coming out. It's gonna be a blast, man. We're gonna do a lot of giveaways too. A lot of giveaways.
Yes, sir.
So
yes, sir.
Be involved,
yes, sir.
Man. Be involved in what we're doing, and
And keep pushing. So once again, man, we appreciate everybody who is out there spending their time. We understand. Some people are no matter where you're at in this country, or even now across the pond. We know you're sometimes either locked in. So we hope just to get your mind off of different things that's going on in this world. We hope to be able to do that for you guys, and we want to make sure that all you guys are just being safe out there. Take the proper precaution that you possibly can. And once again, we're just trying to give you guys some entertainment, and having fun. So once again, man, please like, subscribe, hit that notification button, and we will check you guys out in the next episode.